Hey guys, I'm AJC. As far as musical preference goes, I really enjoy to play shreddy guitar type stuff. And I've seen a lot of people on the internet, do their thing as far as playing, in such a virtuosic and technical way, and it's dope. Like there are so many excellent guitar players, way better than myself, who populate and they just rock. For all intents and purposes, they sound so dope. And from what I've seen, with my granted limited amount of experience playing guitar, is there are certain techniques and there's a certain way to train less your hands and more your ear as far as being able to play the right notes. And I've seen a fair number of musicians talk about things from a more technical perspective in terms of this is what you have to, in terms of like scales and modes, this is what you have to learn, and this is what you have to practice, and they go ham on that. But I mean, it's one of those things where like if you're playing and you're thinking, you're gonna screw yourself up. So in this video, I guess I'll just do like a demo of me soloing over just a backing track, I guess. And I might provide a link for it in the description for you guys to practice over it too. And then at the end of that, I'll kind of show you guys my, not necessarily my thought process, but my feel process when it comes to just playing stuff. And we'll see how it goes. So let's go. Okay, so I started on the 5, and the rest of this pattern kind of embellishes the minor key. Also, a quick note on incorporating technical elements in your music, that it's not as complex as it might seem. Once the technique really sinks into your ability, it's kind of like learning a new word, and you can simply use it as you would any other word in a sentence. It's not necessarily unique in that sense. But let's play on. This time a rhythmic emphasis. Couple bad notes in there. And admittedly, it did get a little bit sloppy towards the end. But the general picture of, specifically with the tappy bits towards the end there, that was to further emphasize the 16th note rhythm, because I knew that when it came to playing like sweep picking or alternate picking, that I could be much more creative if I was doing some two-handed tapping. It's less about, but I should mention, I wasn't thinking that when I was playing that. See, this type of thing, it really sinks into more or less your a more behavioral state than a conscious state, if that makes sense. There are things that we do naturally that we're totally unaware of, that when it comes to like motor function and things like that, are very complex. Think about like a baby learning how to walk. It's struggling for a fair amount of time until, years later, when it's more matured and developed, he or she can fluently walk, run, play, and do all the things that kids do. So technique is a lot like that. you just need to put in the time, focus on the specific elements that are causing pain, needless stress, and annoyance, and really focus on those points patiently, and just continually repeat the process. But yeah, as far as doing the shreddy stuff, I would say that the key elements to keep in mind are as follows. One, to emphasize when making melodies the rhythm. It's very obvious when you are playing off when you're doing a solo. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Second would be complementing the mood of the song. And I know that's a bit more abstract to say, but what the music is making you feel will serve as a trajectory point for where your solo is going to go. So while you're shredding, if you're a jazz head, you're noodling around, just keep in mind what the music is making you feel, and kind of put that just a bit above what you're thinking. And don't let your thought process, especially if you're a theory nerd, get in the way of the feel, because it's that musical feel. And I know there's a lot of debate as far as, well, what is feel? You can break it down and intellectualize it and compartmentalize it. Screw that. In the moment when you're playing in front of people, if you think about things, you're going to mess up. That's just the way it is. Unless you're reading sheet music, in which case you're following a script. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But for all intents and purposes, soloing is an exercise in improvisation if there's no sheet in front of you. And that's not to rag on people who specifically go by sheet music. That's an invaluable tool, especially when it comes to songwriting and composition. But if you're trying to communicate with an audience directly and authentically, then you kind of have to put theory under intention. So I'd say that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope all that made sense. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. I'm trying to think what else could be. If there's anything, I'll cover it in a future video. But yep, that's all I've got. So bye.